In this video, we're going to walk through the steps of creating individual discussion topics, one for each student in the class. Some instructors like to create an individual topic for each student, so you can have a conversation with every student in the class without other students seeing that. So, of course, you could do this in email, but some instructors do like to have an individual topic set up and restricted to each student in the class. So this takes a little bit of work, especially if you have a large class size, but we'll get started. We're going to use the Groups tool first. Once at the Groups tool, we'll see either one section or multiple sections depending on how our course was created, sort of the default group that is set up for your class. Here we can see I have 3 sections of the course, so I see the students who are registered for each one of those sections. We're not going to concern ourselves with this default category. What we're interested in doing is creating a new category. So here we can give the category a name. This is the group category, so this name kind of describes what the group is. So I'll call it individual discussions. I don't need to provide a description. Enrollment type, we probably want to choose groups of and then put a value of 1. And actually this is exactly what we want to do. Groups of 1, so we want groups of 1, and then we're going to restrict those groups of 1 to particular topics. So we're going to have groups of 1. What we probably want to do is auto-enroll new users. So if we're creating the group before our roster has settled down, we're going to want this option checked. Randomizing doesn't really matter because we're just putting 1 per group anyway. I'll uncheck it. And then create workspace. So this is a key step here. We need to set up a discussion area for every one of the groups of 1 that we create. So here we're going to click Create. Now, because we chose the option that said Set Up Discussion Area, D2L needs to know where we want to place these topics in our course, and it asks us which forum we want to place it in. This drop-down menu isn't working for me because I haven't yet created a forum. What I need to do is click on New Forum and give the forum a meaningful name. And I will call it Individual Group Discussion. So this is what the students are going to see, so we want to make sense to them. So I'll type that in, click Save. So this is where all the topics are going to be created. I'll click Create and Next. At this point, D2L is going to automatically break the students up into groups of 1. In this case I have 46, so that's quite a few groups I'm going to have to manage, and then creates the 46 topics in the discussion area and then sets the permissions accordingly. At this point I could be done. In fact I am done, so to speak. If I click on the discussions, I'll see all the groups. However, when we do this, D2L just creates the groups with titles Group 1, Group 2, Group 3, and so on. So you don't really know who is in this group. So this is the part that's really kind of time consuming depending on the size of your class. What we need to do is go to our groups page and change our category to the individual discussions so we can see who's the member of every group. So I can see group number 1. I click on group number 1. I see it's Peter. So what I like to do is just copy this URL, and just as a way to speed this up, I can right-click on Discussions and open Discussions in a new tab or a new window, so I can switch back and forth because this is going to take some time. What I need to do is edit group number 1 and rename it. I'll paste to Peter. I'll hit Save. Now I'll go back here, and it doesn't alphabetize them the way we'd want, but I'll go into group number 10, and here's George. Come back to this other tab that I opened, go back to the discussion list, find group 10, here it is, edit group 10, and rename accordingly, and hit Save. So in this class I'd have to do it 46 times. It's gonna take some time to do, but when I'm done I will have under discussions a topic for every student, and in this particular case every student has their own and is restricted to just their own.